Hey guys, if you enjoy spending any time at all outdoors, whether it's hunting, fishing, camping, hiking, family reunions, graduation parties, get together for football games, whatever it might be, the one thing that can really ruin your fun day are bugs, especially mosquitoes. Like, even camping in the rain is better than camping with mosquitoes. And over the years, I have tried all sorts of products, whether it be sprays, lotions, the citronella candles. These things just kind of make a mess. They leave your skin all sticky. These things put off a really bad odor. So if you put it like on your picnic table and you're sitting there trying to play cards or eat or anything, they just stink up the whole area. I have tried all sorts of these types of bands. And again, they do put off an odor, and they're not that effective, to be honest with you. That's why I still have a bunch of them in here. I've done the off clip-on stuff, done different bands here. These ones here were like a wearable thing that took batteries, and you would put like these cartridges in there. And to be honest, they don't really work either. So a couple of years ago, I saw a YouTube video on this little Thermacell backpacker. It might have been from the Steve Wallace camping channel, but they gave really good reviews on this. So I decided to buy one for myself. As you can see, I bought it in June of 2021, and then I bought some of the refills that go with it. And this thing works amazingly well. This just screws on to the isobutane can. You put that little repellent pad up there and then basically turn it on and ignite it. And it will give you like a 15-foot radius of basically being pretty much mosquito free. And anytime that we know that we're going to be outside for a while, we take this with us. And the only kind of drawbacks to it is that you do have to take these cans, and this is actually a small can. I have ones that are like twice as big as this one, so you do always have to take fuel with you. And then sort of the other drawback are these pads. They do only last about 4 hours or so. So if you're going to be outside, for more than that, you do have to take a couple of them with you, but you kind of know that going into it. So like I said, I've been using the backpacker for over 2 years, a lot, and really, really love this product. So a couple of months ago, I was watching another video and I found out that Thermacell made a rechargeable one that you don't have to take those fuel cans with you. And so I decided to buy this one. As you can see, I bought this one in June, and then a week or so later decided to buy some of the refills that go with it. Now, these refills, they are kind of expensive. I think I paid maybe close to $50, maybe $45 or $50. But they look like this, and you can see that liquid down in there. But these will last, like one of these lasts over 40 hours, which is obviously 10 times as long as what those little pads will last. And these are really convenient. And this thing here holds a charge for over 5 hours. Plus, you can take like a portable cell phone battery bank, and you can plug into this. And as long as you have juice in that battery bank, this will continue to run. So really, you could run this for hours and hours and hours. And since I got this one, I've actually kind of quit using the backpacker because this one is so effective. My only complaint with this is that the little cover here for the USB port doesn't stay closed all the way. But other than that, this thing is sweet. This thing lifts off. So there's like these little magnets right here. You put your refills down in this thing. It's so small and compact. But yeah, we just throw this thing in the car whenever we're going to be going outside somewhere, and it works really well. So again, I purchased the backpacker and the E55, with my own money. Been using them for a few years and highly, highly recommend the Thermacell products. But now I want to show you guys a couple of other products from Thermacell, and these were sent to me from Thermacell. We have the EX90. This is basically a similar product as the one that I've already shown here, but this one has a 9-hour plus battery. Plus it's a little more rugged if you were to drop it or anything like that. And over here we have the MR300. and this is in green. This one does take like the small fuel canisters. Hopefully they have included one in here, but let's see if they show. Yeah, like these ones right there, those little cartridges. But we'll do a quick unboxing of both things, and then I'll kind of show you how to use them. But again, this is the EX90 rechargeable. You can see it's scent free. You don't have to use any type of sprays. Like I mentioned, the 9-hour battery. This gives you a 20-foot zone. So again, imagine putting a dot and then you go at least 10 feet on each side all the way around. There's the active ingredients if you guys want to know anything about it. And then we can see we have the device, one refill, and then the cable. And again, kind of the same stuff on that side. The refill that's in here is a 12-hour one. And again, when you buy these, they're like a 40-hour. Again, it shows like, you know, a camping environment, but you can use it for so many different things. All right, let's get cut into this and see everything that's in it. So up on top, we do have a USB cable. That's micro USB. There's a little carabiner, the 12-hour refill. And just to compare the size of the 40, you can see it's significantly smaller. These fit in all of them. They just give you the smaller one. It's like buying a printer, and they give you just like a sample ink cartridge. So you got a user guide. Mostly just words on there. There's stuff on the back too, I guess. And this is actually what we use ours a lot for, is sitting around our fire pit. That's just a warranty stuff up on the top there. And then we have the actual repeller down in here. So this is the EX90 up close here. It's a, I don't know if they have multiple colors, but mine is like a gray and a black. And again, this is a 9-hour plus battery in this, and it's actually smaller than what the 5-hour battery or so is. This is a really nice size. It's kind of more like rectangular in shape instead of that round one. So this does have a strap on it if you'd want to, you know, hang it to something or use that carabiner to put through it to hang. This old one here does not have that feature. So to use this one, it has like these little buttons here, and you push both of those and then that top comes off. We're going to remove that so it exposes the little things there. And then basically we would take that refill and then pull this top off. You want to be careful with that. You don't want to break that little piece right there. And then basically this would just sit down in there like that. And then you would put your top back on, snap it in. I don't know if this came charged or not already, but we'll go ahead. It's honestly as simple as just turning this thing on. And what'll typically happen, like with my other one, is see how it flashes like this? This basically means that it's heating this up now. And then once they go solid, which usually takes like, I don't know, maybe 5 or 10 minutes. It says it's ready in 15, but it doesn't usually take that long. It's basically at full like maximum, you know, production at that point. Now I am inside the house, so I'm gonna shut this thing back off, and to shut it off, you just got to hold it for a few seconds, and then that'll shut it off. That is our charging port area. It does have a little nub right there, so hopefully this one sticks in better than what the other model I have does. Yeah, that feels a whole lot better already. If I can get that little nub in there right. So yeah, that's definitely a lot better than the other one. But you can obviously see just, I mean, how portable, how small these things are. And then once they start working, this is pretty much invisible. Like you might see just the tiniest bit of almost looks like a smoke, but it's pretty much invisible. And like I said, it's pretty much odor or scent free. And that can be important too. Like if you're hunting, like let's say you're in your hunting blind, and you maybe don't want to spook, your game that's coming towards you. And another thing that I really like about these style here that use the liquid refills is that when you're done, like let's say that this has the 12-hour refill in it and I only used it for 3 hours and there's still liquid in it, I can just take that top and place back on it. Again, you want to be careful not to break that stem thing right there, but it'll snap back on there then, and you can just store this wherever. And to charge that EX90 up, you just plug it into any USB source. So let's quickly go over the MR300. We can see this one has a 15-foot zone. The other one had a 20-foot. This one uses those little fuel canisters. These are significantly cheaper. I think that the EX90 is probably somewhere between like $40 and $50. Prices change all the time. And this one's probably more like 20 or 25 or something. But again, we see there's no sprays that's needed. It's scent free, no DEET. And so it says 12 hours of protection. That's only if you use all 3 of these pads, or 4 hours each. So you'd have to take 3 of them to get that 12 hours. And again, camping, fishing, hunting, pretty much anything outdoors though. All right, let's get cut into this one. All right, so we got user guide up here, some of the information as far as what the chemicals and stuff are in it, and then a registration card. Here's our little fuel canister. It's a 12-hour fuel canister, and you obviously can look in and see it, so that's kind of nice. It's not like solid black where you don't really know how much is in there or not. There's our 3 little refills. And there is the actual device itself. Quickly show you guys the manual that came with this MR300. And here's really kind of how to use it. All right, I'll show you guys some up close here of the MR300. So this here is kind of like our on-off switch. So whenever we put the fuel in, we'll switch that to on. That'll be the start, which is kind of like your igniter. This here is a little viewing window so we can see like if it actually is lit or not. That'll turn like red, showing us that it's on. Down here is where we will put the fuel in at. That will screw into that area. And I think that they might make something where you can actually wear this on you. I'm not 100% sure on that, but you might be able to. Or possibly like even attach it to like a backpack or something. And then here is a fuel window. So once we would thread this up in here, you can look through this to be able to see how much fuel you have in it. So the little 3 mats that came with this one are the exact same that you can buy for the backpacker. This 12-pack I think was maybe in the $15 range when I bought it. I don't remember exactly. And the only thing that kind of stinks about these, and I will show them to you guys, but like let's say that this is supposed to last 4 hours, and let's say that I only use it for 1 hour. These do tend to like dry out and they kind of lose their effectiveness. So I'm not saying it's best to just use them all at one time, but you can see how this is like a really, you can almost see like a wetness right there on it, but see how like bright blue these are? Well, if I open this up and I don't even use it at all, this will almost turn like a dry, light blue, almost like a whitish type color. So I'm not saying like you have to just throw them away if you don't use all 4 hours, But what I would probably do is not leave it in the repeller and instead pull it out and put it like maybe in a Ziploc baggie or something. But these just slide into here, and you kind of want to get it centered the best that you can. So basically like that there. And then your little fuel can, you would pop that top off of it. And then again, that's basically threaded. There's some threads on there. So that would just drop down in there. And then you just twist it in just like that. And then you can put your little cap back on the bottom. And again, I'm still inside the house, but I'll show you guys how to actually use it. So you flip that to the on position. You typically, like right now, I could hear a little hiss that meant that the fuel's getting into it. You usually want to wait 5 seconds or so and then push the start. All right. And I could hear a flame, and it might be kind of hard for the camera to pick it up, but there's an orange glow when you look in there, and that lets you know that you are lit and it is working. And so now what will happen is basically this is like a heating element, and this little silver pad underneath this blue pad will get hot. And then as that heats up, it pushes and releases the repellent off of this little mat. And again, it probably takes, 5 to 10 minutes for this to fully heat up and then give you that 15-foot protection zone. And then when you're done, you just flip that back to the off position. You can leave your fuel up in there. Just for safety, I would probably take it out, but you can leave it in. So my deck is 12 and a half or so by 26. And so what I'll do is just take like the Thermacell, place it on the floor here, and it will pretty much cover the entire deck. If I know that we're only going to be 3 or 4 of us sitting over here in this area, I'll usually take the fire pit and slide it in the middle, but I'll take a Thermacell and then set it next to that fire pit, and it for sure covers all of us that are sitting there. Mosquitoes are somewhat attracted to certain body odors or lotions, certain clothing colors. But my wife and I never notice any mosquitoes at all. And if we have guests over, they never complain about mosquitoes either. So obviously I can't really show you if they prevent mosquitoes or not, but you will have to take my word that they definitely work. There are pros and cons to every model that they make. These ones are more expensive, like almost twice the price is what these are. And the little fuel canister things are pretty expensive as well. I mean, they're basically like $15+ per thing, but they also last a really long time. It lasts 40 hours versus 4 hours. This one, a can of fuel will last you years, but you got to keep putting those little mats in, which only lasts for 4 hours. This one here, the little fuel canister is not going to last a really long time. But no matter which model you go with, they're all simple to use. Either just a push of a button or a flip here and a push of a button, all very simple. They're all people and pet friendly. You don't have to worry about any type of sprays, none of the lotions. It doesn't make a mess like those things do. There's basically no scent that comes off of these, so it's not going to spook any game if you're out hunting or anything like that. Turn it on, and probably 10 to 15 minutes max, you're going to have the full protection, either the 15-foot zone or the 20-foot zone. And what's nice is that like these basically stop mosquitoes before they even get to you. Now, one downfall to all the models is that, again, it only gives you that 15 to 20-foot circle. So if you go to do activities outside of that circle, you are no longer protected. But honestly, since we started using these couple models here, we haven't used the sprays in a couple years now. We don't do those bracelets. Like, these are the only things that we use. Another thing I'll let you guys know about is like it shows it kind of sitting on a table in some of these pictures. Whenever I use them, I actually just set it on the ground. That way our legs don't get bit either. If I were buying just one Thermacell model, I would get this EX90. I like the fact that it takes the large refills, that these things can last, over 40 hours. And this already lasts 9+ hours by itself. And if that's not long enough for you, you just take one of these little battery banks with you. You plug this into here, plug it in there, and that would honestly last you for several days running it off of like this. It's a little more expensive than the other models here, but for the convenience and everything else that goes along with it, it's definitely would be my pick. So if I can find Amazon links for all 4 products and for the refills, I'll leave them down in the video description. And if you guys have any questions at all on any of the models or refills or fuels or anything, just leave your questions down below. But that's going to be it on this one. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.